Thank you, sir. Is that 10 minutes or more?
I call the honourable member Stephen Browning.
I rise to speak to the Border Processing Trade Single Window and Duties Bill, second reading. Back in September last year, Customs took us for a presentation over at their headquarters, over at the port there, and went through this joint border management system and where they were at, and it was a very good, glossy and smooth presentation. It was quite impressive, and we didn't think there's too much untoward about their system. It was coming together, people were trialling it, and we were pretty well reassured that everything was happening well. But we heard before from Phil Goff that there were some doubts about how the system was coming into play, and maybe there were some hiccups along the way. And so the Green Party also joins that call to ask the Minister and anyone from National to ask them what is going on and what are the hold-ups, and are we heading into another debacle in a systems way? The principle of this is very good. It tidies things up, it makes systems smoother and way more efficient, and potentially cuts lots of cost. But there are issues of whether, of course, that it will run smoothly. There are issues of whether there will be privacy concerns with the information that is shared. And we've got a lot of issues, and we've had a lot of issues around privacy with multiple thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people's information or data, some exceptionally sensitive, being shared inappropriately through different services. And in fact, the Customs, not so long ago, was offering information on kim.com straight to the FBI without it even being asked for by the FBI, not legitimately being sought, but there was a customs officer who thought it was just the right thing to do to earn some brownie points by supplying private individual New Zealanders' information to the USA's FBI. If there was anyone that is a crook, well, it should still be dealt with through the appropriate system, and I think it's inappropriate for anyone in this House to be calling someone a crook. They're innocent until proven guilty, if that was ever going to be the case. So what does the border system do now? The border system is broken up into Customs, it's broken in MPI. They've got a range of different services they're doing, clearance of all arriving cargo and departing cargo, and people, including risk assessment and targeting, and that's for Customs, duty and GST collection, and there's quite a lot. Intervention, notification of cargo status to different ports, data going from Customs to MPI, and official trade statistics. There's a lot going on in terms of this data process. It's going to be a lot required of it. MPI, Ministry for Primary Industries, has got the issue of also being involved with clearance, but particularly around biosecurity, of course, clearance of certain imported foods. We've got food safety issues there. And then there's export certification for animal and plant products to make sure that when our products do go overseas, they are in good condition and they've been certified, audited, verified, whatever is required to make sure that our export markets have confidence in us. So it's very important to get that right. And of course, we've got a big, big question as we speak around meat inspections in this country because of deregulation that have allowed grotty, dirty meat to go off to the States and then have to be turned back because we've allowed the companies to do their own inspections. So there's some issues around policy there. But MPI have the role in trying to make sure the paperwork and everything that followed those theoretically good inspections happens properly. So that's what they're up to. But what this will do will consolidate some of those transactions, because the exporters and importers have had to go through both agencies, and there's a lot more cost, there's a lot more paperwork, and so this is intended to be a good system. In 2012-13, there's something like there's over 500,000 transactions, clearing 3.48 million export consignments. That's a lot of business, and 124,000 cargo reports for 2,300 odd commercial ships, 42,000 commercial aircraft arrivals and departures, and 50 million mail items each year. One of the beauties of the system, should it ever work properly, is that the public will be able to make use of it as well, where previously the systems have only been geared for commercial operators. So there is potential in this, but we have to question whether the systems and the delays are another debacle coming to us. They've got a range of clients, they've got some pilot programs, and we heard of Mondial Freight. In fact, their pilot partners, while they're trialling it, take up about 2/3 of the volume that's going through. So there's significant trials happening. Some have come in and opted in, and others have stayed with the old system. But why the whole thing is not working yet is a very valid question, and we do wait for the answers for that. There's quite a convoluted system, as I was saying, with the current system. There's lots of toing and froing with material through a lot of entry points, of data entry points, safety systems, biosecurity systems, third-party gateways, overseas government agencies and industry ones. The new trade window will bring it way, way back in. It's one electronic message will be standard, and there's different connection options in that. We look forward to this system working properly, and very, very properly at that. When we did go to that presentation, we were told where things were at to date with the Joint Border Management System, and then we were told the next steps, and there was a big flag on there, on the way. I think it is still there, on the way. It is very concerning that these systems are being delayed, and it'll be interesting to see what the costs involved are in these delays. There's a problem with, or a potential problem with, information sharing, and we do want to know and be confident about that. When I asked Customs on that day around whether things were private to New Zealand, no, they're open to trading partners. I said, how much are we commercially vulnerable with this? And I was told, well, it's New Zealand security, it's the best New Zealand security in place. But we know that that's not working too well, and we even hear today that the GCSB couldn't even say how many warrants were issued, and they were getting their figures mixed up. There's been a number of breaches around security, and so we need to be sure that this system will protect New Zealand exporters and private individuals to the absolute utmost, and at the moment we haven't got that confidence. I want to finish on issues around biosecurity, because I've just been pulling a paper together on a new pest around Thaleria, because biosecurity needs to be much better, and this system ideally will make sure that it is. It will be another step to ensure that we have even less, in fact, rather than the direction at the moment of even more pests coming into this country. And we've got major ones that are costing this country millions of dollars in extra management costs to producers in particular. Thaleria, cattle disease, it came into this country only about 18 months ago. Customs and biosecurity haven't been able to isolate how that came in, and we shouldn't be having that. And as we speak, there's been another one, equine herpes, that has come in, so that's into the horse industry, and we don't, and that again, how the hang did that get in to New Zealand? Great white butterfly is yet another one. Yep, and we just need this system to be working at its utmost. So thank you, Mr. Speaker. We're looking forward to the system working, but we really need to know what the problems are with it. Thank you.
I call the Honourable Tau